Hello and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Daily Report, broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus for more news. And log on to our website, www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. Let's continue with information. Restless and passionate, Gerardo Murillo was like a mighty river, caught up in the radical ideas and the revolutionary atmosphere in Mexico at a time. Murillo became one of the most influential artistic figures of the 20th century. Dr. Atl, this word in Nahuatl means water. According to his biographers, he considered himself a citizen of the world. This notion took him across Europe in his youth, thanks to a scholarship granted by the government of Porfirio Diaz in 1897. There, he became the pupil of notable masters the likes of Antonio Labriola, Enrico Ferri, and the Nobel Prize Award winner Henry Bergson. Years later, and guided by his political ideals, he returned to Mexico with his experience as a landscape painter, writer, and philosopher. Being quite knowledgeable, he became an intermediary between the Southern Liberation Army of Mexican revolutionary Emiliano Zapata and the government of Venustiano Carranza, who took power in 1917 and was assassinated in 1920. Dr. Atl is also considered by some to be the father of Mexican mural painting, as he served as a teacher and influence of muralists such as Diego Rivera, David Alfaro Siqueiros, and José Clemente Orozco. He mocked the existing teaching methods and made a program that implicitly involved steering the minds of the young back then toward muralism. Wrote Siqueiros in his autobiography Me llaman El Coronelazo from 1977. Dr. Atl is world-renowned for his self-portraits and volcanic landscapes of Mexico, as well as having developed pigment-based resin, wax, and oil, which he called Atl color. His fascination with volcanoes led him to constantly climb the Popocatépetl and the Iztaccíhuatl to capture landscapes in his paintings. His love was rewarded when he had the opportunity in 1943 to see the birth of the Paricutín, an experience documented in his book Cómo nace y crece un volcán. El Paricutín, How a Volcano is Born and Grows the Paricutín. Now let's talk about Carla Souza, the Mexican actress who is taking the U.S. television by surprise as one of the characters on the hit show How to Get Away with Murder, starring alongside the award-winning Viola Davis. Souza has been in the acting scene since 2008, but has managed to make a successful crossover and provide viewers with a different perspective on the Latino stereotype. She was born in Mexico City but lived in Colorado until she was 8 years old, the same age at which she was cast in the movie Aspen Extreme, an experience that would change her life forever. This was a defining moment in which she fell in love with the industry, a turning point in her life that made her choose the path she is on today. Souza would eventually move to France, where she joined part of a professional theater company. Later on, she was accepted in London's Central School of Speech and Drama, where she was able to continue her acting career and graduate in 2008. That same year, she started her career in TV on the Mexican series Terminales. The following year, she participated as a recurring character on the TV series Verano de Amor. 2013 was a groundbreaking year for Souza, as she secured roles in 4 Mexican films, 2 of which broke records. The most notable one of these would be The Noble Family, where she embodied a spoiled rich girl who, along with her 2 equally spoiled brothers, has all privileges revoked in order to be taught an important life lesson. The film exceeded expectations and was a massive hit in Mexico. She followed with a small role in the second Mexican blockbuster of the year, Instructions Not Included, a film that also broke records. Carla herself stated on Univision's Variety Latino to having felt very happy participating in projects that would catapult her career into the United States. Sousa added that making a life change such as moving back to the U.S. to pursue her acting career was a personal and professional challenge, which totally paid off. In 2014, she made her inroads in U.S. television on the show How to Get Away with Murder, in which she portrays Laurel Castillo, a smart, idealistic, and talented law student who worked alongside a group of law students for the renowned, brave, and tough defense attorney Annalise Keating. This character has given Sousa the opportunity to embody a new and fresh type of Latino character. In fact, probably no one would have noticed her character is Latin until she spoke perfect Spanish with her family. During her interview with Variety, she concludes that there is no single type of Latin person, and that is a character should provide people of a new perspective on Latino actors at a time when television is making drastic changes, particularly in the removal of stereotypes. As far as we know, Carla Sousa is working on the second season for How to Get Away with Murder, as well as 2 movies that are programmed to be released this year. We'll be keeping an eye on the Mexican actress who is breaking the Latino stereotype on U.S. television. There is a legend that on the ancient, long-forgotten roads of the Mayab, a beautiful woman roams, stalking travelers, waiting patiently for them under the ceiba tree. With her long dark hair, she seduces men and leads them to their graves. This is the legend of the Ixtabay. As many others, it begins in a peaceable Mayan village where 2 sisters lived. One of them, Utzcolel, was considered by the village to be saintly, while the other, Ixqueban, was believed to be sin-made flesh. Ixqueban, which is Maya for bad woman, was a despicable person to the townspeople. She used to play with men, while her sister Utzcolel was virtuous and good. However, all that glitters is not gold. Although Utzcolel was considered to be pure and fair, in truth, she had a cold heart incapable of loving anyone. On the other hand, Ixqueban was a kind person that used to care for the sick and help the homeless. After many days of not seeing Ixqueban, villagers started to perceive a pleasing aroma coming from her house. When they looked inside, they found the body of Ixqueban covered in beautiful flowers. Utzcolel, jealous of her sister, told everyone that when it was her turn to die, her body would have a sweeter smell than Ixqueban's because, compared to her sister, she had never sinned. Because the town hated Ixqueban, nobody went to her funeral. Only the animals and homeless were beside her. From her grave grew a white and delicate flower known as Ixtaventún, a plant that is now used to make liquor sweet as her soul. Days later, Utzcolel died as well. But despite the fact that her body was surrounded by flowers, it emitted a terrible odor that withered almost everything around it, except the itzagam, a cactus with large thorns and no scent. Angry and resentful, she sought help from the evil spirits, and they returned her evil soul to this world. Since that time, everyone called her the Ixtabay, the lady that seduces and kills any man who dares to travel at night through the Mayab roads. The knowledge and precision of astronomical studies left by the Mayas continue fascinating scientists. Despite having 0 technological instruments, this impressive civilization was able to achieve impressive astronomical calculations. During the Grand Exhibition Maya's Revelation of an Endless Time, being presented at the Palacio Nacional, the majority of visitors showed their great interest in astronomical knowledge developed by Maya priests. Studies carried out over time in the ancient city of Chichen Itza, specifically in the building known as the castle, El Castillo, allowed the establishment of a new line of research called archaeoastronomy, which has gained great popularity and will be introduced in particular universities in Mexico. Some of the discoveries product of the study of the stars by the Maya civilization include the functioning of Chichen Itza as a giant calendar, since its structure is perfectly aligned with the constellation, which makes it ideal to calculate dates for the spring and autumn equinox and the summer and winter solstice. Observation of the sky and constellations also permitted the construction of astronomical observatories such as Building P in Monte Alban, the Sun Pyramid in Teotihuacan, and the Sun Grotto in Xochicalco, among others. Even in the same archaeological zone of Chichen Itza, there is another building that shows an astronomical alignment. El Caracol is a circular-shaped tower with 4 doors and a dome-shaped ceiling, including windows designed to observe the movement of the stars. One of these windows aligns perfectly with the sundown at the equinox. All of this knowledge was registered by Diego de Landa in the 16th century, who emphasized on his astronomic data about this unique event. His studies and registry were retaken by the traveler John Lloyd Stephens in the 19th century. It is just now that all of this knowledge is being joined to create a new way of archaeological investigation in which both archaeological and astronomical information combine to provide new tools for the investigators so they can be able to learn more about this fascinating civilization. Well, this was all for today. Thanks for watching us broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Gurisma. I am your host, Sofia Rattinger, and do not forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to our website, www.mexiconewsnetwork.com, for more relevant information about Mexico and the world. We'll see you the next time.